Kitakubu.
Hey everyone, KitaSean here, so welcome back to another episode of Kita News where we talk about everything otaku. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Chainsaw Man TV anime. So as you guys know, Chainsaw Man, super popular. The manga has sold millions of copies worldwide. A lot of people kind of say that Chainsaw Man is peak fiction. It's the best manga ever. I think best manga ever might be a little bit too much credit. I do think it's a great manga, don't get me wrong. I'm caught up in everything, by the way. And yeah, I think it's a great manga, but I don't think it's like the best manga ever. I do believe there are way better manga than Chainsaw Man. That's just my opinion. But comment down below and let me know if you guys think Chainsaw Man is the best manga ever. But again, we're going to be focusing on the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man today. So Chainsaw Man has already aired on TV. It has streamed on streaming services like Crunchyroll already. And yeah, it was a pretty big hit. A lot of people did watch the anime. And for those who don't know, the Chainsaw Man TV anime was highly invested by a lot of different companies. And when I mean highly invested by different companies, you do get to see a bunch of like company names during like the commercials where like this anime is sponsored by these companies, and then the credits and all that stuff. But yeah, this anime was highly invested, and that's why we got to see the crazy animation, the 2D 3D blend of animation that Studio Mappa is pretty known to do recently. And of course, all the different endings for each episode. Like, that's a lot of money invested to a lot of different artists for, you know, an anime. Like, you don't really get to see a lot of different artists perform different songs for an anime. Like, that's like very, very rare. Like, I don't know why they did that with Chainsaw Man, but hey, I mean, good for them. I mean, a lot of bangers, don't get me wrong, but I do think that's like a lot of money invested in ending songs when they could have just invested into the animation itself. So going back to the companies and stuff, of course, if you invest in something, you kind of expect a return. And animation studios, how they usually make their money is by, of course, Blu-ray and DVD sales. And Chainsaw Man was kind of expected to sell a lot of Blu-ray discs, but unfortunately it did not sell a lot, like not even enough. The first Blu-ray disc released, and it sold 1,735 copies in its first week, and a little over 300 copies in its second week. Only a little over 2,000 copies were sold for the first Blu-ray disc. That is super low. And how low is super low? Well, Bocchi the Rock, my favorite anime of the fall 2022 season, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with me on that, because it was like the dark horse of the fall 2022 season and everyone was talking about it. That anime's first Blu-ray disc sold over 16,000 copies. Way more than Chainsaw Man. So I don't know exactly what the exact target sales are for Chainsaw Man, but for a big hit title like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen or, you know, One Piece or whatever, I'm expecting the anime sales for the Blu-ray disc to at least go over 15,000 copies. But Chainsaw Man, again, was a very highly invested anime. It is super popular. Manga, again, highly popular. And I think a lot of the investors, as well as Studio Mappa, were kind of expecting the sales to at least go over 20,000 copies. So the reason why I believe Chainsaw Man didn't do too well is because, well, Japanese audience, like, it's probably not their cup of tea, to be really honest with you. It's definitely a series that is more targeted towards the Western audience. That's why, you know, Western fans here in America love Chainsaw Man so much. Personally, for me, I prefer the manga adaptation than the anime. I thought the anime adaptation was okay. So yeah, I'm technically included in the Japanese side. Like, I didn't really care too much about the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man. I thought it was okay at best. And I do believe that the manga just is way better than the anime, and the reason why I say that, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, manga's better, I just believe that there were some arcs in the manga that made it great. For example, the hotel infinite loop arc, where they get stuck in the hotel rooms. I thought it fit perfectly when it came into a still panel, but when they try to adapt it to an anime, it was kind of hard to portray that. So stuff like that, like I just thought the anime adaptation just didn't really do the manga justice. So that's just my opinion, but I do believe Chainsaw Man does have a bigger audience outside of Japan, and yeah, I just think Japanese fans didn't really like the anime. So with only selling a little over 2,000 copies of the Blu-ray disc for volume 1, I do believe that future Blu-ray discs that are going to be releasing in the future, they aren't going to sell too well, and I do believe this kind of hurts the chance of a second season. Well, maybe not hurt, but like you definitely know that the higher ups at Studio Mappa and investors are going to be talking about the numbers, because again, they care about money in the end. Like, money is what makes them allow to create anime, and it also helps their company stay alive, basically. So yeah, I do believe that this is definitely going to be something that they're going to be talking about. Maybe the manga sales might try to help it a little bit. Like, if the manga sales actually sell a lot more, they could be like, okay, let's go ahead and just risk it again, make a second season. Hopefully Blu-ray disc for second season will do well. But yeah, the sales definitely will play a big part when it comes to creating a second season for the anime. Like, again, I do think that like the anime adaptation was good. I don't think it was great. I'm not exactly sure when it comes to viewership if Chainsaw Man did well in Japan. I believe outside of Japan, I'm sure thousands, millions of people have watched it. But yeah, it just really sucks to see that it didn't do too well. I mean, I think Chainsaw Man is a great series, but I do believe, like, they need to figure something out. How they need to figure out a way how to actually have the Japanese audience get hooked on this. But yeah, this is definitely going to be something to look out for when it comes to news on Chainsaw Man. Like, will this actually hurt the chances of a second season? Again, I do believe it will, but we'll just have to wait and see. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Laters.